Do you ever feel like you are undeserving of everything that you just achieved and that you're just not as good as everyone else? If you do, welcome to the Imposter Syndrome Club. Because of that, something weird stuff that is going on in our head, I thought it's gonna be a very good and interesting topic to talk about in this week's video. So I think a bit of change of scenery would be nice. So let's head out and yeah, let's get into the video. So I would love to talk about some 5 reasons that I recognize, or that I also did a little bit research about in studies and stuff, that really describe the characteristics of being or having imposter syndrome, and things that can really be hindering in doing stuff or having a high or a normal esteem of your self-worth. So I decided to go for a little stroll in the forest because I was sick for the last week, lying in bed with fever, and I haven't put out a video, so I thought, why not to do something different and talk about some things that are really here in my life, like today's topic of the video, imposter syndrome. So yeah, let's go. And I will tell you some things about it on the way. The one reason that I almost didn't film this video is that as a person with self-diagnosed imposter syndrome, I probably think that I have it, is that you have a fear of failure. You are afraid that you're not gonna achieve what you wanted or what you put yourself into. And this applies to several things in my life, not only studying or achieving a career I don't even know if I want that, but also with videos. Will I ever do a video that I will really like? I don't know that. I will never be happy, I think, with what I do, in a sense. Will always be afraid that people will not like it, or that people will not feel what I feel, or that they will not resonate with what I have to say. There's this fear maybe of not failure, but more of not understanding or not comprehending completely what I want to talk about. This is one of the reasons, and this is something that has been proven by studies, that this is one of the things or one of the typical characteristics of people that have imposter syndrome. So that's why I have it, and around 20 to 30% of the people have it. And in today's world, having the fear of failure is even bigger than before. You are even more prone to compare yourself to others because you just see everyone and everything in the whole world. You don't only see your peers at school, or you don't only see people in your neighborhood. You see the whole world, and you can compare with yourself with everyone almost. So the fear of failure is augmented, is even more than we could ever imagine. This is one of the reasons that filming and doing stuff is sometimes super hard. The things that you see, maybe that you feel like, oh, this is super easy or looks easy, it's not. Let's go to the next point. So the second reason why imposter syndrome is not nice, or something that we don't want to have in our lives, but still have, or I have, is that people with imposter syndrome really think that people that have imposter syndrome are not unsuccessful people. And even though I'm very well aware of that, I still do think sometimes that what I succeed at, even if it's just small things, that it's because of external parameters. It's because I had luck at this time, that it was an external error or whatever. So this is really this kind of thinking that wherever you succeed in life, it's not because you deserve it, in a sense. And this really fucks with your mind somehow, because you never feel like you own this, like you own what you deserve in a sense, because you worked for it, you're talented. And this is super hard because even though I'm well aware of that, yeah, I didn't get to this point where I am just because of external things. I sometimes still think just like in a good mood or something, maybe not the external thing, but it's super interesting what the mind can tell us, what kind of things it can tell us, even though it's not true. So, or just another trait of people that have imposter syndrome. So I figured I'm gonna sit on this super nice green tree. I hope there are not some weird insects in it. So the first point, or the third reason that I want to bring up here, the funny thing or the paradox thing about having imposter syndrome is that probably you are not that unsuccessful. It's not that you are a completely unsuccessful person that just thinks that everything that he or she does is just a complete bullshit, because you probably have some success in your life. And I would say it's also true for myself. Because of this kind of way of thinking, I don't really want to think about this. So this is something that really messes with me a lot. Just thinking that, yeah, probably I am able to do that, but my mind just tricks me into not believing that. And getting to the point is that another thing that the study that I was reading that has been done more than 20 years ago is that you're a person with imposter syndrome, that you really want to stand out in a way, that you want to achieve something from one day to the other, like overnight. And that's for me what means standing out. You want to achieve great things, you want to have a great reputation or whatever. But the thing is that the people that don't have imposter syndrome, or that are really believing in what they are doing, or that they can achieve that, what they set a goal, that they really take it step by step. And with an imposter syndrome, person really thinks that it has to be something that is groundbreaking, and just loses himself or herself in this thinking that it cannot be step by step. It's really a paradox thing, because of course there are people, or you are able maybe to do it, something groundbreaking very suddenly, but most people are not successful like this. Most people really work towards something, and it takes a lot of time, and it takes a lot of steps to get somewhere. People that are successful and have imposter syndrome, they are the same. They just think that other people achieve their things very quickly, which is just not true. And I think this is super interesting, and even more that I'm aware of this, but I'm still doing this, you know? Yeah, it's just super weird to actually know what you should not do, or what you should do, or what it does to your mind, but you're still doing it, you know? So I don't know if this makes sense, but yeah, this is just something that I find super interesting. Leave a comment down below or something. I would be very interested if you feel the same. So yeah, if you feel like sharing something, I would love to read your comments. Let's get to the next location to talk about the next point. So the last point really leads me to this point as well, that the other characteristic that imposter people have is that you never feel as good as everyone else. Like, you compare yourself to your peers, and you feel that you will never achieve the same thing, or that you have never achieved the same thing, even though maybe it's not true. You feel like you don't get the same appreciation, or you will not get the same appreciation that they get about their work. And it doesn't really matter if it's like studies related or work related, or if it's something that is more creative, like filming or something. Just a feeling that you will never be as good as the others. This is something that really destroys your work, because you will never feel like you will do something. That's why I also titled this video like this: comparing yourself to others, or seeing yourself as not good enough. Very probable sometimes you will not even start doing the things, but I still do it, right? So this is also like this brain flag thing with people that have imposter syndrome, because it doesn't really mean that they don't do anything. It just, even if they do, they still think they are not good enough or not as good as the others, or like others that they think they can compare themselves to. But in the end, people have more experience. They are maybe older than you. They just put more time into it than you do. And these are all the factors that come into this. I always have to keep reminding myself that I cannot be the same person as someone else, but it's still difficult. Let's get to the next point, and then I will get you some few things and some ideas maybe how you and I with imposter syndrome can really work on not doing this. Yeah, you can always try. My camera almost got run over by a car, which is not funny actually. So the last characteristic of a person that has imposter syndrome that I realized in myself, or maybe also a reason for not doing anything or not starting doing anything because you are afraid you're not good enough, is that very much the self-worth is contained in the way how other people portray you, or something you need as an external validation. It's not something that comes from within yourself. And this has to do a lot with like just a feeling of self-worthiness. And I think this is super, super important to realize that and to work on that, because maybe it also has to do with people that are more introverted or just like are not as sure about themselves. But I wouldn't say I am completely introverted person, so I don't know if this really makes sense or not. So it's just something that I just realized, and you just really need this, or I need this feeling that someone tells me, you did it very well, like this is so good, and like, but I don't see that, you know? So it's really something that comes from the external, and you really need that to start believing in yourself. But this is something that I think shouldn't be the case, right? You have to live with if you have imposter syndrome. But right now, I really want to get into like some ideas or like things that I've been starting realizing, or just like thinking about, or trying to change. So I don't really have this imposter syndrome. I'm not a psychologist, and I don't know if you can really fix that, but I guess it's worth a try. After watching your video, I obviously feel like I have imposter syndrome, and I don't want to have that, you know? I don't want to be the person that just feels like she's not capable of anything. Because it's not like I cannot achieve anything. It's just like deep inside, like my mind somehow tricks me into thinking that, yeah, like that I cannot do that, or that I'm just like not good enough all the time, which from outside people, like they tell me it's not true. So how can I, or how do you have ideas how I could fix that? Yeah, like I completely get your point. I have the same thing, so that's why I started to like just like this thought exercises to like, yeah, to just tell myself, okay, I can do it. Like you see like a proof here and here. Sometimes it's super difficult because like when it's a creative work or something, you cannot really compare it that well because it's very subjective. But still, I think, I don't know, I just have to tell myself over and over again that I am able to do that, that I am not worse than others. Like I know that you don't really believe that, but if you tell yourself that, I think it's also gonna be easier to really feel that as well. If you tell you that, I'm really like a fan of having this thought exercises. So, and the other thing that I also have to remind myself is that there will be always someone better. Like it doesn't matter in which field or where, it's always gonna be someone who's better than you, because they've been doing this for much longer than you. They have different prerequisites, and I think this is super important to remind yourself of that you cannot really compare yourself to people that have achieved something in a way, because it's just gonna look different for you probably. Also learning to go step by step, you know, and not just to learn, not feeling that, or to learn believing in yourself. Yeah, I hope that helped you, because it really helps me all the time because this is something that I've been living for a longer time right now, and since I've been implementing this, since I've been thinking about these things and telling myself these things, I think it's better. So I hope this is something that resonates with you. So you were so much a help, like, yeah, I really appreciate that. Yeah, sure, no problem, like, you can always come to me and we can talk about this, you know, and I really appreciate if you can talk about this kind of deep stuff, you know. I really enjoy that. Have a nice day. Bye. Yeah, see you next time.